I'm Mike.
Welcome back. Happy to have you on this beautiful Thursday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
What?
reaching at the camera like that. That's disturbing when I see it, but sorry. I
One
had to
time
adjust something.
Potter was laying on one of the bar stools and I was on the other side of the counter and I had reached across the counter towards the bar stool to put my phone down because I was about to sit in the bar stool next to him. And I must have spooked him because he jumped like this, and Potter's not like that. Potter's very clumsy. He's not the most coordinated. And he jumps and then his arms and legs went straight out like this and he just fell like a like a shocked when they do cow tipping, it was giving cow tipping vibes. And he literally fell
Tipping
on the floor.
vibes.
And when Potter falls from a surface onto the floor, it's he doesn't land on his feet. He doesn't catch himself. He just
So
lets the fall happen.
So he's not graceful like most cats.
No, and Potter's
Wow.
heavy, he's solid. So yeah, he's fallen off the back of the couch before, and he just falls and lets it happen, and we'll turn around, and he's just still just laying there on the floor, well, that was annoying. That sucks.
Wow. Yeah, that was I always wondered, do animals get embarrassed? That's
Yeah,
a different. That's a
that
different
is true.
podcast episode, though. I
True.
guess.
So today we are doing some case updates for this True Crime Thursday. So you're welcome for that.
Yeah. Welcome to True Crime Thursday. Yeah.
Instead of multiple, one terrible story, we're going to give you multiple terrible stories.
Yeah. Yeah. And some of these are cases that are kind of just in process that really aren't complete yet, which is why we kind of do them in a group as a case update because they're not final yet. So.
Yeah, we don't like a lot of loose ends, so we would rather keep our loose ends at least in a group together.
Yeah, exactly. At least I know all the loose ends are in one place.
Yeah, exactly. This is the.
Oh, by the way,
What?
Surprise or a special announcement.
Oh.
We have reached 100 subscribers on YouTube.
Woo! Yay!
Thank you to all 100, but to the 100th one most of all.
To the 100th one, once I find out who you are, I'll have you talk to our people and, we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that did happen today, actually. How cute.
Yep.
We finally are 3 digits, y'all. So, when does YouTube send us our plaque?
Yeah, I don't know. I think we have to make it ourselves like we did our mugs.
That's funny. Yeah, been a long time coming, guys. So, anyways, yeah. So, anyways, guys, yeah. So True Crime, yeah. So our little case update episode is basically it's the junk drawer of True Crime Thursday.
I like that. Yep.
So, do you want to start? Do you want to do your case?
No, because I only have one. You have more than I do, so I'll let you do yours first.
Okay, so starting off with probably the most recent one that there's not really anything in, but it's worth mentioning. The Tyler Robinson, the guy who shot Charlie Kirk.
Yep.
So that preliminary hearing has ended. The preliminary hearing, from my understanding, is basically just the trial to see if there's even going to be a trial. The hearing to see if there's even going to be a trial. So yeah, the prosecutors presented their forensic evidence, DNA evidence, and witness testimony, and the defense challenged the reliability of the evidence, which is usually the case.
Yeah.
A judge will decide in September whether the case moves to trial, and of course, Tyler Robinson has pleaded not guilty. Don't they all?
Yeah. Even though he apparently, he confessed to his partner.
Roomie?
And wrote a note, his roomie. Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, but even that,
Yeah, I was watching some of those hearings because they were playing them. They were playing them on TV.
yeah.
Um, I was surprised for this just being like the preliminary hearing, like the level of detail and time that they were taking to go through this stuff. Because like there was like from what I understand anyway, and I'm not a lawyer or a judge, but like for this stage in a case like this, the amount of evidence that they need to present
Hmm.
is not that much because this is
Just for
just
it to
you.
go to trial. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
this is just saying here's what we know, this is why we think it should go to trial. And it was like
Yeah.
it was a couple days of like
Hmm.
stuff going back and forth. And now, as I understand it, they're not even gonna uh have a decision on it until like September.
Yeah, September is when the judge makes the decision. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but I guess they are pushing the death penalty. I don't know if that makes everything like a little more intense, but
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it makes it harder because when a juror knows that the death penalty is in play,
hmm.
are they going to make a different decision, as to guilty or not guilty,
Oh,
you
true.
know?
Yeah,
So that's
yeah. Hmm.
always a challenge. I'll be curious if they have, problems getting a jury for this one, because they always say, have you heard about the case? Well, I feel like everybody's heard about the case.
Yeah. I mean, you have some people that don't really like, I guess, are kind of disconnected, but
True.
I guess you would need, hopefully, like, assuming a juror is honest when they're doing the little questionnaire, like, you would really need somebody who doesn't know Charlie Kirk, because obviously, if you knew Charlie Kirk, then
Right.
you knew that that happened.
Right.
And I'm not even saying just like a fan of his. I'm saying
Right.
like knew
Right.
him, saw him, like it was all over
Right. Knew who he
Instagram,
was. Yeah. Yeah.
all over, it's not just a regular little news thing. It was a pretty big thing. So, yeah, we'll
Yeah.
have to see.
Yeah.
Stay tuned to
Yeah.
our case updates in September for more
Yeah.
information on
Because
Tyler
we would
Robinson.
definitely have an update on that one then.
Yeah.
So I was going to say my first, but my only one is it's one that was kind of local to us, but I
Mhm.
think it probably made some national news. I don't know. And it was a case of a vehicular homicide
Mhm.
case where two brothers basically ended up dying. They were well, the suspect is, or defendant, I guess, is Marquavius Tavon Wheaton, 26, of Sanford, and Sanford, Florida, that is. And he was pulled over by the Seminole County opioid response effort um, task force, whatever, which score that spells out score. I don't like when they
That's
try to be too clever with that
really,
stuff.
I was just gonna say that's kind of cute when they,
No,
get the big word to, the
yeah, I
multiple
always feel
words,
like they start with a word and then they say, now what words, they start with the acronym and they go, okay, now what words can we make this mean?
and then they do
It,
too much with
it
it. That's
feels
funny.
forced, yeah.
Yeah,
But they were
cheesy.
attempting a traffic stop on his black BMW sedan. Um, I guess funny thing is it was originally over a window tint, but why would opioid response be pulling somebody over for window tint? It was because he was suspected anyway of being an ongoing fentanyl trafficker.
Well, because he was on
Um,
probation already. Like he
yeah,
should have
yeah.
actually
He
been in
had,
jail. He should have been
yeah,
in jail, but instead of keeping him in jail, they slapped an ankle monitor on him and said,
yeah,
"All right,
yeah.
bye."
Can they add shock capability to those ankle monitors?
That would
I
be
think they should
crazy.
do that. Like, just where you going? Nope. But
Uh,
he refused to pull over. He accelerated to extreme speeds. At one point, they said he was going over 100 miles an hour, and it was not on an interstate highway. It was on a road that is a regular, I think it's a larger highway. It's like a 6-lane, 3 lanes in each
it's a
direction
state
highway.
road, but it's
It's a
not
state
a,
road, right?
yeah.
But it's one with traffic lights and intersections
Hmm.
and all that. It's not a, an
Neighborhoods off of
interstate
it,
highway.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, So to I guess to avoid it, like the risk of a high speed pursuit, the sheriffs like basically they disengaged, but they put the helicopter up. Um, and this guy just kept. I mean, I saw some of the video of this. He was like
Mhm.
weaving in and out of traffic. He was cutting around cars. He was going through red lights. Like he was doing everything. Like this accident was going to happen somewhere, and it's the sad thing is these two brothers were the ones that ended up being the victim of it. But because he drove, they said he drove from I guess Sanford, where the whole thing started, to Castleberry, where it ended, where the collision happened, in like 13 minutes. It's usually probably a 30-minute drive.
Yeah, I
So
was gonna
just
say like
as
25,
a point of
30.
reference, yeah.
Mhm.
So that's how fast he was going. I mean, they said he was reaching speeds of 115 or more.
That was around
Um,
lunchtime too, which there's
right.
tons of traffic out
Yeah.
around
I
that
mean,
time at lunch because there's so many fast food places along the way there.
yeah,
Fast food,
exactly.
gas
Well,
stations, all that.
and it's not too far from our house. I mean, it's probably less than a half mile from our house, maybe.
No, for sure,
Um,
yeah.
and we weren't home at the time. We were on a boat. We were on a cruise, but we had said like, God, around that time of the day, we'll be making Starbucks runs sometimes. I think you were on your way because that was our first thought when we heard about this and where it happened was, okay, where's everybody we know?
And I'm like, I'm on
Um,
the road to your house.
yeah.
I'm actually stuck in the traffic
Oh
for it
yeah.
right
I'm
now.
I'm actually looking at it right now. Yeah.
And
Um,
I was.
yeah. So finally his high speed adventure ended, and he basically crashed into two brothers who were crossing over the highway in their vehicle. They were Christopher Marrier, who was
Mary
actually
A.
Marrier, um, who was an associate professor of criminal justice actually at the University of Central Florida, and his brother Tyler Marrier, who was 40. Really sad too that it's like two brothers that are killed because the extension of the kind of suffering for that family is just it's too much, and um, it's really just sad because this is somebody who's out there. They're breaking the law in the first place. They're like fentanyl trafficking, and then they do something like this for like I mean no reason. Like they had the helicopter up. Once the helicopter's up, the police are going to catch you.
Mhm.
You don't outrun a helicopter. Um. So, but
Or
anyway,
you're gonna get
yeah,
yourself caught. You know.
yeah, yeah. And I mean basically he broadsided their SUV and cut it in half. I mean, it was in two pieces after he hit it. That's the force that he hit it with.
Mhm.
Um,
And they also hit they part of their car, I guess at least, went into like this big. It's not a telephone pole. I don't know what it is.
yeah, it was like a utility pole. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like the yeah.
like a big
Um,
thick metal pole, basically.
yeah,
Like even
yeah.
now, when you drive past it, the pole is such a sturdy pole. It doesn't look like any damage was even done to it.
Right, right. Um, so he was I guess he was injured, but not that badly because I think he was out of the hospital the next day and was in jail.
That's crazy to
Um,
me
yeah, yeah. Well, see, I feel like with
because
these
his
kind of
car was upside
circumstances,
down.
yeah, but I feel like with these kind of circumstances, that's always what happens because, you know, I don't know. I just feel like that's always what happens. I don't know. It sucks. That's what it is. Um, but anyway, it says rather than limiting the charges to vehicular homicide or third degree murder, the state's attorney's office filed 2 counts of second degree murder carrying the potential life sentence. As I understood it,
Hmm.
they could have gone after first degree murder because he was committing a felony, at the time that it happened. So
Hmm.
I'd heard that on the news, but apparently they didn't do that. I can kind of understand that because maybe getting to that, first degree death penalty murder would be more difficult to get
Yeah.
the conviction, and they want to make sure they get the conviction.
Hmm.
Um, but let's see, yeah, 2 counts of second degree murder, vehicular homicide, negligent manslaughter, fleeing and attempting to elude law enforcement, excessive speeding, super speeder. We have a super speeder law in Florida, which is if you're going over 100 miles an hour, that's automatically a felony,
Yeah,
and you
automatic
can
jail
go to
time.
jail for driving
Yeah.
at over 100 miles an hour. Violation of probation stemming from a prior 2019 conviction for armed robbery. And he was held without bail. So that will definitely be a case we will be keeping our eyes and ears on over the next coming months. I kind of hope that's one that they get it done quickly, though. Like there's not a whole lot of investigation that they need to do
Yeah.
on this. It's not they.
Especially with the
This is pretty
helicopter
cut and dry.
watching the whole thing. There's,
Yeah,
unfortunately for the family, there's video of literally the crash happening. Did you see it?
yeah.
So
I
sad.
did. Yeah,
So
yeah, I
sad.
did. Yeah, yeah. And when you
Because they
have
were
that
making,
video,
like, so basically, to explain it, they were crossing the road. They were crossing the road that he was flying on, and rightfully so, because where they crossed there was a gap. So how I think that they passed away and he didn't is because they were crossing the road kind of slow, and he's going 100, they're maybe barely at 20,
right,
25.
right,
So when he's going that fast, he's completely just taking over their car. Like, there is no extra force, like, fighting against his car. You know
true,
what I
true.
mean? Like,
Because
he's
yep,
basically
yep,
barreling into them at that point.
yep,
Even though they were in an SUV, or truck, one of
yep,
those. He's just taking them. It's like hitting a stopped car at that point. You know what I mean?
right, right,
Um, and what's really sad, I don't remember which brother it is, but one of the brothers has a 14-year-old son. So he was on a video talking about it a little bit and
yeah,
saying
yeah,
how, like, not only did he lose his dad, but he also lost his uncle, which is so
right.
sad.
It is. It is. Yeah, that kid was very courageous for going on the news and talking about it. I have a lot of respect for him
Mhm.
there. I have no respect whatsoever for the dirtbag who did this. Um, but yeah, so
Yeah.
I hope this is one they get done quick. I
Yeah,
just hope
I
it's
think
one they get
so.
done
I
quick.
think so.
We will have this will be definitely one that we'll talk about on a future case update. It says that the maximum sentence, though, for the second-degree murder charge that they went for is life in prison without parole. So they can get it that he
Good.
spends the rest of his life in jail, which he should.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen the next level, but
Yeah, but to be honest, I'm very shocked that, which, it's really, I think, the power of his other charges hanging on to it that is
right,
even getting him the life in prison, because unfortunately, a lot of times when people get hit in car accidents and die, that person that hit them and killed them doesn't get that much time at all, actually.
right,
Like,
right,
it's actually so shocking to me how somebody can get hit by a drunk driver, pass away, and the person that hit them might get like 6 years, 7 years, 10 max, I think I've seen,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
before.
yeah. Well,
So,
he did have a pretty, as I understand it, a pretty extensive uh, criminal history. So
yeah, no, for
there
sure.
we are.
Mhm. Cool. So, yeah, moving right along, guys. Um, the next update I have is David Burke, D4BD.
Okay.
So, prosecutors continued presenting evidence during his preliminary hearing, which I thought his was in trial. I didn't know his was preliminary hearing because we've done updates on him, but
Yeah, I thought so too. I
no.
thought I thought he was already found guilty. How about that?
That's just because I think it's because we did a deep dive where we were the we were
We
the
we were the
prosecution.
judge. We were the judge, jury, and prosecutor. Okay.
I was reading this like, huh? Preliminary? What? He's been in trial.
Yeah.
But I think it's just because he had. But then I remembered, No, last time we did an update on him, he had just been arrested, and then we talked
Yeah,
about like all of his
you're right.
evidence of why we think he's gonna get guilty. But no, he's
Yep.
gonna get guilty, and yeah, we were the prosecutors. But yeah,
Yep.
so his preliminary hearing um is still in process. Actually, it hasn't even concluded yet, which is also crazy. But
Yeah.
I don't know, I guess he does have a lot more going on than like the Tyler Robinson stuff. Like there's a lot more little ins and outs with the David Burke case.
Yeah, and that's understandable because
It's
I
a lot
mean,
more premeditated.
yeah, there's a lot of nuance to that one that there really
Mhm.
isn't to the Tyler Robinson case.
Yeah, so
So do you have anything on like when they expect that to go to trial or?
no. So there was testimony about alleged purchases. Right now they're just going through his financial stuff from what I was seeing.
Okay.
His alleged purchases that were made after the victim's disappearance, and the judge has not yet ruled on whether the case will proceed to trial or not. So, which I'm guessing it will. Let me see. Yeah, so prosecutors have presented evidence that they say links David to the killing, including alleged purchases of items such as cadaver bags, a chainsaw, and a shovel after the victim disappeared. Witnesses and investigators also testified, and prosecutors have shown forensic evidence in court already. Obviously, David has pleaded not guilty and denies all those allegations, but yeah, no updates or verdict or anything yet because they're still going through it. So who knows how,
Sure. Yeah.
who knows how long all that can take, really.
Yeah. That
And,
that is that.
even thinking of the Tyler Robinson situation, like that preliminary hearing has ended and it's July. We're not going to even know if it goes to trial till September. So
Right.
I guess that
Right.
stuff does take a long time, probably because they have to, depending how much evidence, even with this case, that they're going through, then that
Right.
means that the judge has to look through all of that again. And then, but between like that and interviewing a jury and getting all that,
Yeah.
man,
Probably not looking till probably early next year, I would think at this point for that one then to actually go to trial and that.
right. Yeah, exactly. Um, and then I have another one. Yeah, so I don't really like talking about the David case. It really makes me a little sad.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's
Um, so another update that just came out. We haven't talked about this case yet because it kind of just happened. July 4th weekend. A boy named Nolan Wells was with some of his friends on a boat, and his friends came back. He didn't come back with them. I guess they took a boat to a private island that only people with private boats go to. And yeah,
is
all of his,
an exclusive island.
yeah, it's just like one of those islands that you can't get to unless you know someone with a boat. So I would never be there. Um, but yeah, he went there July 4th and with a bunch of his friends, and there were a bunch of other kids out there, and everybody came back except him. Um, I know his friends had come out with interviews saying that he had stayed behind because also what's weird about it is that he didn't have his phone. Like his phone was on the boat when his friends came back. All of his stuff was on the boat when his friends came back, but not him.
Mm-hmm.
His friends, I guess, had said that they were about to come back, and he said that he was going to stay out there because he had met a girl. But then the girl that he met, she has said that no, he was with me, but then he went back with his friends, or he left with his friends. Who knows?
Just suspicious, in other words.
They ended up finding his body. They did do which at least thank goodness for that, because I think it's really sad when like people just disappear like that and you never find their body, so you can't do an
Right.
autopsy, like you can't
Right.
you have
And the
nothing to.
family doesn't get closure.
Yeah, so at least they found his body, especially given the fact that it was in like the water area there.
Right. Right.
Um, so an independent autopsy concluded the cause and manner of death, and it remains undetermined. That is the cause of
Oh.
death on the autopsy. It says undetermined. Um, it says that foul play cannot be ruled out, and the official state autopsy and toxicology results are still pending, and the investigation remains active.
Wow. So are there
So that's
does
the latest update on that.
so does anybody have any speculation as to what they think happened to him?
So some people think like his friends did something, because there were some videos that came out that day that they hear like kids arguing, but then other people are saying that that wasn't him who was arguing, that that was his friend who was arguing with somebody, and that he had nothing to do with that argument. And you know, his friends, a lot of people are trying to say that the friends basically must have did something to him, because what else could have, you know, I mean, it's kind of like when a woman dies and they immediately look to her husband.
Right.
You
Right.
know, it's like,
Right.
okay, well, you were out here with him on this boat, and then y'all come back with like his phone on your boat and not him. That's funny. Koopy in the background. Um,
Yeah, that I
so,
mean,
you know, I
and
mean,
that's the thing to me that makes the friends more than the girl. This, you know, because you could say, well, the friends went there with him, and they went back and left him there, but he didn't take his phone. Like to me, that right away is suspicious because, like, well, how was he? What were his plans for getting back since he didn't have a boat? Um,
and
but
yeah, and
then
then like, you know,
you could also look at the girl and say, well, the girl is claiming something different than the friend. So do you look at the girl and question whether she had something to do with it or,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's,
So there's a lot of like theories going on. A lot of people, you know, don't really think that it was just like a drowning situation. And again, like there were so many people out there and he was there with his friends. And man, like that's why you just gotta really, no shade to his friends if they didn't do anything, but at the same time, like
yeah,
that's why you gotta choose your friends wisely, because like
yep,
I could only hope that my friends would like be, you know, not babysitting me, but then at the same time, like they are teenagers, they're 17-year-olds, so like as a 17-year-old, I'm not babysitting my friend. Like,
yeah,
yeah, you're over there doing whatever, like
yeah, yeah.
I'm over here doing my thing. I don't think I would leave without my
I mean, I'm trying
friend.
to think when I was 17 back in the 1800s. If no, I'm trying to think when I was that age, like if I had gone somewhere with friends
Hmm.
and if I like usually when I was hanging out with people, like I'd be the one driving. If like one of them said, "Oh, I want to hang out here because I'm with this girl," I probably would have been like, "Yeah, okay, whatever," and left.
Right.
Thought, well, okay,
Hmm.
you got to figure out how you're getting home, but that's fine, whatever. But the cell phone being left thing is like you'd think one of them would have said, "Oh, wait, here's your phone.
Or
Don't
he
you
would
want your
have,
phone?"
or
Or
he
he
would
would have,
have been
yeah, if
like,
that was the
"Wait, give me
plan.
my phone. Hey, I'm gonna sit
Yeah,
here with her." And like, I mean, shoot, kids these days, like, they're always on that phone. It's that dang phone, okay? Like
yep,
they always got their phone on them. So
yep, yep.
you know, unless it was because they were surrounded by a bunch of water and he just like they all just had their phones being stored on the boat, and when he's hanging out with this girl, like he's not thinking about like
True.
necessarily taking his phone. You know, hopefully like some kind of investigation, because I think just regardless they're going to do an investigation. Like I think that's warranted. I think
Yeah.
if I was his family, I would want an investigation done either way, because
Yep.
there is something very fishy about it. Just
Oh yeah,
in terms of like, there were so many kids out there, like one of them has to have a video showing something.
that's true. And where was this?
Oh man, I don't even know. I can't
But
remember.
was it here? Was it in Florida or was it somewhere?
No, I don't think it was in
Okay.
Florida. It was it in Ohio?
Okay, so the island that it was like in the middle of a lake then somewhere. It wasn't like
No, I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was in a lake.
okay. Yeah, that's yeah, I agree with you. If there's with all the kids that there would have been
Oh
there,
yeah, Horn
somebody
Island.
probably.
Oh, duh, Mississippi. I'm so silly.
Oh, okay.
Mississippi. So Horn Island off of Mississippi. Miles off the
Okay.
coast of Mississippi. So it was in the
Miles off
ocean.
okay, so it was in the ocean. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, but still like with, if that was the case and there were a bunch of kids like hanging out there, I think you're right. I think they'll be able to figure out some kind of a timeline of,
Yeah.
when like if the girl said, "Oh no, he was hanging out with me," but then he said he was going to go back with his friends, and if he went to go back with them and that's when something happened,
Or like they were
or
gone already at that point, maybe.
right, that's possible too. Yeah. Um yeah, I don't know. So they don't and you said, was there evidence of like physical evidence, like visual evidence on him of any kind of like somebody punched him or anything like that?
So it doesn't say that. So, okay, so the official autopsy, those results haven't even come out yet.
Right,
But his
right. You mentioned that.
family got a separate autopsy done on him, which I think a lot of people usually do in situations like this, where there's like
Sure.
a certain like fishiness to it,
Right, right.
because it's kind of just like if there's something medically wrong with me, I'm going to go get a second opinion as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that's the results that actually came back, the independent autopsy. And
Right.
yeah, it says it did not determine how he died. His cause and manner of death are currently listed as undetermined pending further investigation. The pathologist said foul play cannot be ruled out, partly because decomposition and the absence of some tissues examined during the state autopsy limited what could be determined. The
Got
official
you.
state
Okay.
autopsy and toxicology results are still pending, so investigators have not reached a final conclusion. His family also has an attorney, and they're continuing to push for a full investigation and answers about what happened on the July 4th boating trip. So,
Which I would be too. Can't
yeah.
blame them. I would be too.
Yeah, and very like even when they were describing him, I guess like they were saying that he would like his old coaches and stuff. Like I guess he played football. He had a really bright future with football, that he was super good, I guess, and he was in the process of like getting colleges lined up and stuff. Yeah, very very sad situation.
Yeah.
But
Like all of these cases, very sad
like all of
situations.
these cases.
Yeah, it's just
So yeah, we'll definitely be keeping an eye on that one though, because I am curious to see, what comes out with the official toxicology report, and
right.
what
Right.
ends up
Did it
happening in general, if they end up holding anyone accountable or what.
right. Right. Or do they determine that it was somehow an accident? I don't
Like
know.
drowning or
Um,
something. Yeah.
right. Yeah. Did it say when they expected the official
No.
toxicology results or no? Or
Nope.
the official autopsy rather results?
Yeah. No. Nothing.
Well, we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that one, and that will be probably either part of a future update, a future case updates. So
Yeah. For sure.
cool. Any more?
Nope.
Is that all for this week? Great.
That's all for this
All right.
week.
Well, there's some quick updates on a couple of cases, some that we have talked about, some we haven't yet, and yeah, stay tuned for more updates on those as we see fit or as relevant news comes out. And I don't know, check us out again Tuesday.
Yep.
Let's
That's it.
let's continue the climb towards, I don't know what number we're trying to climb to, but let's continue growing that subscriber count.
Yeah. No. For sure. Next time, guys, let's make it to 1 million. No, I'm just kidding.
That would be amazing.
Then we can finally get some ads on here.
I know, right? By the way, if you want to post an ad, no, I'm kidding. All right, guys, have a great weekend, and we will see you next week with Marvel Mondays and Taco Tuesdays.